The desert wind whispered across the empty plains, carrying the scent of dust, smoke, and lost dreams. The sun hung low, turning the horizon gold as a lone cowboy rode into the abandoned border town. His name was Cole Anders, a man with no home, no family, and a past buried under gunpowder and regret. He had seen too much war, too many broken souls, and somewhere along the way, he forgot what it felt like to be alive. But that evening, fate had other plans for him. Outside an old saloon, standing tall and proud despite the dust on her skin, was a young Apache girl. Her dark braids shimmered in the dying light, her eyes fierce yet sad. She looked like someone who had learned to fight long before she learned to smile. Cole slowed his horse, eyes narrowing as the girl raised her hands, stepping forward cautiously. "I don't want trouble, cowboy," she said in a low, trembling voice. "Then we're the same," he replied. For a moment, silence hung between them, heavy as the desert heat. She told him her name was Naira, the last of her tribe living near the canyon. Her people were gone, some taken, some killed, and she had stayed behind to protect what little remained. The town folks called her a witch, a savage, a ghost. But Cole saw something else. He saw loneliness, the same kind that lived inside him. As they spoke, distant hoofbeats thundered across the sand. A group of bounty hunters, drunk and cruel, had been chasing Cole for days. When they spotted him, they laughed, 5 against 1. But they didn't see Naira's bow resting on the porch rail. With deadly precision, she drew an arrow and fired. One man fell before his gun even cleared the holster. Cole ducked, rolled, and returned fire. In the chaos of smoke and screams, they fought side by side, 2 strangers bound by instinct and desperation. When the dust finally settled, 4 men lay dead, and the last one ran for his life. Cole turned to thank her, but Naira was trembling. The fight had taken everything out of her. Her eyes glistened as she said softly, "You should go, cowboy. People like you don't stay." Cole hesitated. "Maybe I'm tired of leaving." She smiled faintly, a sad smile that could break even the coldest heart. "No one ever stays for me. No one ever even looked at me like you just did." The words struck him harder than a bullet. He saw tears gathering in her eyes, shining like stars against the dust. And then she whispered the words that would haunt him forever. "No one ever kissed me." The desert wind fell silent. Even the dying sun seemed to pause. Cole stepped closer, his boots crunching softly in the dirt. "Then someone should fix that," he murmured. But before he could move, she stepped back. You don't understand. Where I come from, love is a promise, and promises die." Cole looked into her eyes that had seen too much pain, and said, "Then maybe it's time one lived." That night, he stayed with her by the fire near the canyon. They spoke about dreams, about loss, about freedom. For the first time in years, Cole smiled. And for the first time in her life, Naira laughed. The cowboy and the Apache. Girl, too broken. Souls who had no reason to trust the world found something real in each other. But as the stars shimmered above them, neither knew that destiny wasn't done testing them yet. The men who had fled would return with vengeance. And in the heart of that storm, one kiss would change everything forever. The next morning, the town was quiet. Too quiet. Cole and Naira stood near the well as the first light painted the sky orange. She had braided her hair again, tying it with a leather strap that once belonged to her mother. Cole saddled his horse, glancing toward the horizon. He could feel it. The air had weight, the kind that comes before a storm. "They're coming back," he said. Naira nodded. "Then let them come." Her voice didn't shake. She wasn't afraid anymore. Love had done what years of pain couldn't. It had made her brave. By noon, the bounty hunters returned, bringing twice the number and twice the hate. Dust rose behind them like a sandstorm, and soon the street filled with the sound of hooves and gunfire. Cole stood in the open, his revolvers blazing, while Naira darted between the old buildings, her bow singing through the air. Together they fought like spirits of the desert, wild, untamed, unstoppable. But courage has its cost. A bullet found Cole's shoulder. Another grazed Naira's arm. Still they didn't stop. They fought until only silence remained. When it was over, Cole fell to his knees, bleeding, breathing hard. Naira ran to him, tears streaking her dusty face. "Don't you dare die on me," she whispered, pressing her hand over his wound. Cole looked up at her, smiling faintly through the pain. "Guess I can't ride forever after all." Her hands trembled as she held him close. "Why did you stay, Cole? You could have left." He looked into her eyes that reflected the fire of 1,000 sunsets. "Because you were the first thing worth staying for." She sobbed quietly, resting her forehead against his. Then, with a trembling voice, she said again, "No one ever kissed me." Cole smiled, weak but sure. "Then I guess it's about time." He reached up, his hand brushing her cheek, and their lips met in the middle of that ruined street. It wasn't a kiss of passion or pity, it was something deeper. It was a promise, a prayer, a bridge between two worlds that had always been apart. The wind carried it across the desert, through the canyons, over the graves of those who never found peace. It was the kind of kiss that made even the earth remember. When Cole finally collapsed, Naira held him as the sun dipped low once more. The townsfolk who had once feared her came out of their hiding places, watching in silence. One by one they began to lower their hats. The legend of the Apache girl and the cowboy who kissed her became a story told across the frontier, a story of courage, love, and redemption.